Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Scorpio. The sun has now moved into Pisces. So the sun, which is, of course, this beautiful energy that is sustaining our life, so it's also connected with the personality, is in Pisces, and Pisces is the moon. And the moon is in your sign. And so we do not have, right, the energy of the moon separate to the zodiac sign in the sun. So the sun is giving the light to Pisces, which is the moon card, and the moon being in your sign, you get very directly the energy from the sun now into the subconscious so that you can really see what is going on. And all zodiac signs are going to feel that. And the moon, we feel feelings and emotions, and of course you going deep with that, you are feeling it today, right? So this is a very interesting combination happening here. Now what's also interesting is that Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is the hangman. Is that letting go? You are ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the aeon, is the last judgment, is this new consciousness that is now being pushing us to recognize that new things are coming and old things are really leaving, because Pluto is in Aquarius for 20 years. And so it's a very strong message there. The yoga position for Pisces: fish pose, up dog, down dog. And the yoga position for you, of course, Scorpio pose, right? One of the most intense positions ever. If you achieve it, you understand how focused you have to be. And in that focus, you see the transcendence. You see that things shift. You are Odin here in Handel Tarot. Is your birthday between October 13 and November 12, then you are Odin, pointing here at the rune alphabet, right? If your birthday is before or after, please look in the description below. I have listed them all there. You are, as a Scorpio, the mystic, and you are the 8th zodiac sign, and so also connected to the 8th house of transformation and secrets. Back to the last reading where we had Aquarius Sun giving Scorpio Moon the light. Sail or fly away into a new paradise you've created with like-minded people. And it's because you came up with the boat, and I looked if there's a reoccurring card, and there is one that is coming back. And so we can begin the reading. So what we see here is that you are awakening to the soul aspect of Cancer. And Cancer is the Chariot, is the sun being at its highest point. And we have the 8 and the 7 creating a 15. And that 15, sometimes we get attached to that energy that we feel in summer, right? And so here you're hanging on the tree and pointing at the rune alphabet. And the rune alphabet, I have a really beautiful deck for Pluto. And there we're going to see what is coming up, what letter is coming up today. So the 15 turns into a 6, right? The attachment and the being cut off can be transformed into a 6, into a self-love. And we learn through situations that are difficult, we learn. So there is a Cancer, a soul aspect of a Cancer, bringing you here an understanding that success is always emotional and if we really want to be successful, we need to first emotionally make ourselves successful. Now we're going to the right? We're going to your full moon. Remember, I do 6-month readings where I place the cards to the right, which is going to the full moon, which is extroverted. And then after the full moon, we're going 6 months to the new moon, and I place the cards to the left. But always remember that when a person stands here and it looks like he's going to the right, when you then become the card, right, from an outer perspective, he goes to the right, but when you become the card, then he goes to the left. And it's always cyclical. There is always the right and the left, the inhale and the exhale. There's always a cycle. What is Cancer wanting to tell you? The 10 of Swords are coming, which is the Sun in Gemini. And the 10 of Swords is a sort of dystopian moment of like, oh, everything is gonna fall apart. And yes, a lot of things are falling apart. So we have the 10 and the 7, which is the 17, which is Aquarius. And since Pluto is in Aquarius, you feel through Aquarius, through the star, that it feels like things are falling apart. Emotionally, you feel that there is something, right? And it is in your head. Things are falling apart. Structures that you have built and that you feel comfortable with are now being changed. And so we have the 17, which turns into an 8. Then you have an 8-8 portal. And in that 8-8 portal, you understand that the 8 is the star that is above your head, like a halo. And twice, you know that there is a creative spark in that halo, that you can learn by a difficult situation. Never in a comfortable situation are we growing. We're growing when it's difficult. But this is the end. This is the 10, the 1 and the 0. The 1, the Magician, the 0, the Fool. There is a revolution in there. And it's emotional. So what is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing? The 7 of Discs to the left, and that's Saturn in Taurus. And so the 7 of Discs are pointing over to the 7 of the Chariot. So you have a 7-7. And the 8 and the 10 is now the 18, and the 18 is the Moon. Pisces is creating now a deeper look, is helping you that you can see what is really going on, because back then Aquarius Sun gave you the light and Aquarius came here through the 17. And you felt that things are really like falling apart, but now the 18 is appearing, right? The 8 and the 10, because here we have a 7-7. We leave that. That's a pure 7. And so the 18 is, of course, letting you know deep in your subconscious, you're understanding somehow what is happening here. And it's because what's going on up there in the sky, we feel that. The 18 turns into a 9, and the 9 is then, of course, the completion. A completion in letting go, in seeing that you have here the 7 of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Taurus. And Saturn in Taurus brings you an understanding that, yes, she's pregnant, she is ripe, something is ripe. Emotionally, you understand something is also financially ripe. And it's kind of like saying, well, overcome this. Come into the completion with the way you pointing down to the 10 and say, okay, I get the 10 is the end. I focus on the 7-7. And in that 7-7, you're realizing that you are working on your feelings, and that your feelings, of course, also influence the way you handle money right now. But things are ripening. So go with it, right? And understand that the message is you are here to learn. You are here to grow. There's nothing else to say than that, right? So what is Scorpio bringing? The soul aspect of the Death card, you get the Emperor, and that's an Aries. So there's an Aries in your life. So we have the 13 and the 4, that's a 17 again. And the 17 again, Aquarius. Aquarius says, sail or fly away into a new paradise you've created with like-minded people. Like-minded people are here. The Cancer, it's also a water sign. Then you have an Aries. Somehow you connected with this Aries, right? And we're going to look who else is coming. But you see here again the 17 and the 8 is left. So you are bringing 3 times the 8 to you, and in there you are learning to be in the infinite realm, in that spiritual realm, right? You feel comfortable with. What is Aries saying? Aries is bringing you the strength, which is Leo, the soul aspect of strength. So major arcana, right? So the 4 and the 8 is the 12. The 12 is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is Neptune, which is coming through Pisces to you and says, well, you gotta sometimes hang upside down so that you can let go of the 10 of Swords, which is Sun in Gemini. And Gemini is the communication. Sometimes we feel our communication is maybe not that good, right? We never learn to really express how we feel. So here, the 12 brings you then the 3, the Empress, Venus, the money, the beauty, and the love. But you see how she's holding on to the Lion. There is this energy between them that is letting them know they are inseparable. And so is here the Emperor with this big tree behind him. And so the 3 and the 13 is the 16, that's the Tower, things gotta go, and the 7 is left. So then you have 3 times the 7 with here Cancer, and with the 7 of Pentacles, and here the 7 now is talking as well. But what is strength saying? What is Leo saying? Patience is coming. And patience is Sagittarius. And you see she's facing these 2, and it's almost she's saying, be patient with that wild side in you. Be patient with this empirical thinking in you. Because, I mean, these are 2 fire signs, right? And this is also a fire sign. So all 3 fire signs are here. This is the Queen of Wands, this is the King of Wands, and this is the Knight of Wands. A lot of fire going on. So taking action, moving on, going forward. But have the patience, which is the 14, which turns into a 5, the 5 and the 8, the 13. And guess what? The 13 turns into 4, this 13 turns into 4, and here's a 4, a 4 portal. Wow. You get it. Like 3 times the 4, be empowered through your heart, be wild, be patient. She touches the heart. Be the Emperor, be the one that transforms, right? Be this figure. Strong message coming here to you. Now, what is patience saying? Patience bringing you the healing. And the healing is here, Leo, right? And in the healing, you see that patiently you watch and observe healing yourself, healing others by the way you start loving yourself, by the way you take action in your life. Yeah? And so you see this is a whole journey here, right? That began with an Aries. The Aries into Leo, Leo into Sagittarius, and back to Leo into the healing. Wonderful. So that's the message here coming through Aries. But now we want to see what is Pisces saying. Pisces is bringing you the 6 of Pentacles, which is the Moon in Taurus. And the moon in Taurus is saying, well, have patience. Always see here that there is a compromise. And the 4 and the 6 is a 10, and the 10 again creates with the 10 of Swords a 10-10 portal. 2 times the 10 can also be the 20, which is Pluto, the last judgment. So learn that the 10 and the 13 is the 23, the 5 is left. Give and take, give and take. Learn that in that compromise you understand that maybe within Aries you're creating this compromise. What is the Mother Piece Tarot saying? You're getting Temperance again to the right, and Temperance is pointing to the compromise, right? And she's dancing, and the fire and the water, and so she looks completely different than here. Here she's like this lovely, patient personality. Here she's this wild priestess. She's dancing, she's wild. And so the 14 and the 6 is the 20. Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius is gonna push you to make compromises, maybe with a Sagittarius, right? Because you have Sagittarius now coming twice. So it's speaking clearly to you. And of course, I can also make a 5 out of the 14. The 5 and the 6 is the 11. The 11th of April could be a date here. So the 11, right, that's a message very clear, but I want to see what is saying here. With the patient was the healing. But yes, here is bringing you the Ace of Pipes. And that's the wand. That's that one action that we want to take. And when we take that action, we know it's a good action, right? I'm going to see how I'm going to hold all of this. It's a good action. That action is like she is using the pipe, she's using the flute, and she is even here creating now something special, because in creativity lies the antidote of any suppression and depression, right? When we create, we get into our own realm. And so you had the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and now you have the Ace of Wands. And so this compromise here, which we had the 11 with the Sagittarius, is compromise and let this person create something special for them. So then there is 3 times the 1 and the 4 from the Emperor, right? And you see that here comes a really beautiful message, because these 2 cards now also can create a 9, a completion in healing the way you take action, healing in the way you are seeing how others are acting. You have a 4-4 and the 11, or then the 3 times the 1, right? Very beautiful. I can see that you are learning, you are understanding, you are creating a new consciousness, and in that consciousness you are awakening. Now, what is the last judgment bringing? It's bringing you the number 60, Erdmegen. These names are all out there, right? But you see, we have thy earthly power. I'm going to read it to you, but I need to put glasses on because it's getting dark and I need to look at, okay, earth power, personal power, thy power, thine alone, carved in stone before birth, in that other played, sizzle of the cosmic gift that awaits birthing through you, by you, for you. Esoteric secrets of the full moon eclipse, where worry and ruin are dissolved by the light of being seated in the earth. The earth, Magus, oldest sacral cycle completed, shadows burnished, soul refurnished. And it's really interesting because I see here the 20 and the 60 is the 80, right? So that's you. I see here this person, and here a person as well. You see that? And so there's the dark and the light. And so the 8 is talking. That's you as the 8th zodiac sign. You are being pushed to have earthly power. Earthly power through the compromise, through Taurus, through the banks. Now, what is your deck bringing? The 5 of Pentacles. Now, I didn't see, we had the 7 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. That's a 13 as well. So there's another 4 appearing, right? So you really, in the money, you understand something. So the 13 and the 5 is the 18. And the 18 we know is the moon. So the moon right now in Pisces is really letting you know something very clear, that you in the earthly realm need to be more intuitive, need to be more conscious, need to be more understanding that out of your subconscious things appear. And so we have the 85 here, and that's, and here again says, well, let go, hang upside down, recognize that everything comes and goes, and sometimes we gotta let go. And here, through the 5 of Pentacles, you are learning that your self-worth, right here, you're waiting for it to ripen. Here, you're learning to give and take and give and take. And here, you're learning to understand that sometimes material difficulty is necessary for us to get pushed forward again. And that push is needed. So learn to work with all of this. Learn to see the message. Now, what is coming from the Mother Peace Tarot? You get the Wheel of Fortune, which came last time, and it's facing completely down. And the zodiac sign here came up is Gemini. And I see Sun in Gemini, right? And Sun in Gemini is actually that communication. But here's Cancer. But it came kind of like in between up, right? And so Cancer came here as well. So between Cancer and Gemini, right? Which is Gemini's opposite of Sagittarius. So this communication of a Sagittarius, right? With whom you maybe need to learn, right? Taking the right action and also healing yourself, that you can communicate with this Sagittarius in a way that is beautiful. But you have the 10 here, and so here we have the 10, right? And you understand very clearly that we gotta learn to awaken within us a more sensitivity towards other zodiac signs, because you're a water sign. For you, the fire signs sometimes are right too fiery, and for the fire signs, you are too watery. But we need all of it, right? The earth is working really fine together, right? The earth with the water, with the air, with the fire. It's all here. It's all connected. And so it shows that it's doable. But what is now the Wheel of Fortune bringing you? You getting the Elixir of Life. And look at that. That's this young girl. And you see she's blossoming, right? Here's a leaf or a flower. And here on the level of her heart is a flower. And here where she smells is a flower. So there's the sexual act, there's the love act, and there's the ethereal act of love. And so the 15 we had at the beginning, right? When we had Odin with Cancer, right? That was the 15 too, the 8 and the 7, that was a 15. And so here you have the 15, the Elixir of Life, that the Wheel of Fortune is bringing you that. And again, the 6 appears here. And the 6 came here through the comparison. And there is no comparison, right? Ever. Everything is different. Everything is just as it's supposed to be. And so she's here and she's bringing you a deeper understanding of learning that in the 6 lies the self-love. lies that part that we can heal in us. And that healing has come through patience. Healing patiently yourself through this wild side within you that you have, or that here this Sagittarius has. And Gemini is the communication, is opposite of Sagittarius. And so learn to communicate, learn to let the young generation have their moment, have what you had, and connect with it the most you can. Because in that connection, you are seeing your own life coming back at you, right? And learn that this 10 and this 10, right? That you understand, here's the communication. Here's the end of too much talking, and letting it go is important. So you see Gemini and here Cancer, right? You can pick which works for you more, because you had both. You had Cancer and you had here Gemini, this one here, right? And so there's the communication and there's the emotion. So see how you work with that, right? And see that if I calculate this all together, we get the 10, 10, that's the 20, the 27 is the 9. Then there's a completion coming to you. And in that completion, you understand, yes, I got to learn to let people be, right? Leaders, let people be crazy and wild. Let people be patient, right? In that dance, in that wild dance. And learning that the healing comes by seeing that certain actions, one action is all we need to take, which is helping someone in need and letting that person be healed through that. But also see the 3 roses, that's the Empress. I kind of see that, right? The 1, 2, 3 roses. And in the Empress we have Venus, we have love, we have beauty, we have all those things. But remember here the 6 as well, right? So we had here the 6, 6. And the 6, 6, we know that the 3 times 6 are these 3 roses. See, there it is. 3 times the 6. There's the 3. There's the Empress. It's understanding that you have a responsibility. You see maybe here the people too. This beautiful rune letter connecting you to a deeper level of realm. And in that realm you can shift and create what it is that you can create. The 7, remember, and the 6 was the 13, and the 13 plus the 5 is of course the 18, the moon. Pisces, bringing you love, bringing you understanding, to the money, to what we create, and in there is the healing. And so here you are, right? Learning to really be someone that lets these 3 roses flourish on all 3 levels. And that's beautiful, right? And so you can really be proud of that, that you feel that you're communicating that. And that's the Wheel of Fortune that is saying, well, everything is spinning, everything is coming and going. And in there, you also have a 15, another 6, right, appears. 6, the heart. Open your heart again and again to the healing, to the differences of all people, and make the difference. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Aries. Aries is here, right? Being that leader, a leader that understands what diversity means. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.